live. Hey everybody. So as promised, I'm going to be interviewing Amir Eid today. He is the owner of Miami Fitness Factory in Lebanon, and he's the representative of Miami-based NCSF in Lebanon as well. So I'm going to be asking you all the things that our followers have all the questions they have submitted. And if you guys have any questions, just leave in the comments and we'll try to answer as best as possible. Hi, Amir.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you for having me with you.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll try to answer the maximum we can and get those fans satisfied, hopefully.
Hopefully. All right, so let's start with the first question that's on my mind and that was submitted. What if you are a guy who's thin, which is the case with a lot of guys, but you have a lot of abdominal obesity and you just want to get rid of that last, those few pounds that are concentrated there? What would your recommendation be?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for this question. I think it's very important. I think it's there's a big misconception in the market in different fitness-related questions. As a fitness specialist, let me say, I need to clarify those stuff. So, losing fat from a localized area, let's say which is the stomach in this case, is not true.
Right.
We cannot eliminate fat from one single spot in the system, which is called spot reduction. That's not possible. It's always a total fat loss from the whole body. So whether you do cardio programs, high intensity programs, fitness, whatever, best coach ever, it's not going to work. It's a total fat loss from the whole body. Consequently, you lose it from the belly area. But this magic one spot elimination thing will never be true.
Agreed. Yeah, exactly. So spot reduction doesn't work, and guys generally tend to have apple-shaped obesity, right? Where they have mainly body fat that is concentrated in that area.
Right.
So it's the same recommendation, right? That you would give somebody with a pear-shaped distribution, like most women, right? Just create a calorie deficit, train the right way, eat the right way. Which brings me to my next question. What is let's start actually with the exercise portion. What would be your recommendation for somebody, just the general population? What are the kinds of exercises that you would recommend and how many days per week? And let's go into cardio and muscle building, and which one would be your preference, or maybe like together? How would they go?
First of all, definitely you mentioned the calorie deficit thing. That's the trick. You know, there's no secret out there. It's all about calorie deficit and maybe choosing the better type of exercise. But you're asking me whether it's cardio training or high intensity or whatever. What's the thing,
together,
right? Yeah, or together.
And how many days per week? Let's say you're somebody who wants to improve their body composition. And let's just focus first on exercise. Right. What would you recommend, and how would you recommend that they train, and how many days per week?
Right. Like, we should make it clear that for many people, the aerobic type of training is boring. The high intensity is more efficient time-wise, more fun, more engaging, more, so most of the people go to high intensity training, which is, I understand, it gives you flexibility during your day.
Right.
Go for 45 minutes, hit your workout, go do your work, go out, whatever. So this type of training does burn fat to big extents. However, cardio training, let's say you go run on the beach or run on the streets, whatever, you can definitely spend longer time running. And this moderate intensity training proves to help you lose more fat, let me say, proves to help you lose this extra mile you want to lose, So if I want to say high intensity or cardio, research proves that it's the mix that gives you the best results.
Right.
The mix done in a proper way, in a scientific way, making sure that, let's say you have 3 times a week of high intensity, maybe 2 other times a week aerobic training, in a slowly progressive fashion, not to get injured, then you get the best results possible, along with your calorie deficit.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no going around the idea that you need to create a calorie deficit.
Definitely.
We like to think that, just simplify things and just cut out one food group and that's going to help.
Right.
And sometimes it does help, but it helps to create a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
The result will always come from burning more calories than what you are ingesting.
Right.
All right, so that's great. So HIIT and LISS, or low intensity steady state cardio. So you want a mix of both. With regards to strength training, what would your recommendation be?
Strength training for what purpose? Just to build up strength, you're saying?
So let's focus on the person who wants to improve their body composition, which generally means is cutting body fat and hopefully putting more muscle.
So, strength training is my favorite part. I'm into strength and power training big time, dealing with athletes, especially that topic. I believe strength training is, for the beginner, we should go slow. Oh, first of all, what does strength training mean? Let's clarify this first. Strength training means, first of all, you should have the technique to do a move, let's say a back squat. Once you have the proper technique, then you want to build the weights. Keeping the rep range below 6 reps and pushing the percentage of your max weight as much as possible, then you're doing strength. So keeping the rep range below 6 and going as heavy as possible, then that's more of strength. When you tend to build strength, you're definitely working on, let's say a back squat, you're definitely boosting hormones in your system, like the growth hormone, which at some point will lead to also building muscle mass, which means you're going to improve your metabolism, which means you're going to improve your body composition and decrease the fat percentage. So yes, strength training does help big time. Is it enough to be done alone? No. But yes, it is a boost for improving muscle mass and for losing body fat.
Yep, exactly. And with regards to muscle building, or with regards to strength training, would you recommend that people start with the machines or start with the free weights or do a combination? Or what is your general recommendation?
So strength training, machines, no machines, that's a big topic. So why would we recommend machines? We would recommend machines if you had maybe any sort of, for the if we're beginners, machines are always easier. Why? Because it's limiting your range of motion,
Right.
It's giving you a range of motion, let's say on the bench press, going forward, going back. It will never go left or right. You will not need any stabilizers to be stabilizing the weight. So it's a fixed range of motion.
Right.
In this case, I highly recommend it for bodybuilding. For people who want to build muscle, hypertrophy, we call the term is hypertrophy.
Right.
I definitely recommend machines for this scenario. Now, if you build the weights on machines with decreased reps below 6, then that is strength.
Right.
But if you're more advanced, then you definitely want to work those stabilizers. Take a squat. We just talked about the squat right now. Mm-hmm. Let's say we're doing the squat on a Smith machine versus a free weight barbell squat.
Right.
The difference is you're using your whole your stabilizers, your core muscles, every single joint is working to keep this bar from falling and tumbling you down.
Right.
Versus on a Smith machine, you're just lifting the bar up and down, stabilized by the metallic structure.
Right.
So, do we want it more functional and something that looks like our daily life? Yes, we want.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we want to perform better as humans. We don't want to be moving like robots. So, yes, I'd go for free weights. Once the technique is good, I build up the weights. I don't go for machines unless it's muscle building or there's any other reason of a certain injury I need to use the machine. Otherwise, free weights.
Right, exactly. And I would say the same thing. Like you can start using the machines a little bit if you want, but you can also start with the free weights.
Right.
And the end goal always is to transition into using free weights because that's going to limit the number of injuries as you progress through the strength training when you're doing free weights and functional movements, things that actually will be needed in your real life. It's always better to train that way.
Right.
Yeah. Great. So that's it for muscle building. Now, with regards to that's it for strength training. With regards to somebody who wants to maximize lean muscle mass, they want to increase muscle size and strength. What would your recommendation be? First, or you can go ahead and talk about both if you want, nutrition and exercise. What would that look like?
Yeah, let me start with the nutrition part. Like definitely I'm a strength coach. I deal with athletes, deal with general population, whatever. But honestly, I'm very professional in making it clear that I don't give nutritional recommendations and diets. It's not my job, despite my knowledge in this, but it's not my job to preach about nutritional advice. I keep this to people like you and specialists and dietitians and nutritionists who are allowed and have the specific education for this. But generally speaking, we do know that we should be in a surplus and we should work on our protein percentages. We'll talk a little bit about this in a bit, and carbs percentages also.
Right.
But let me go straight to training. Whenever we think bodybuilding, we tend to mix a little bit between strength training and bodybuilding. Like we did say that heavy weights and strength training will boost the hormonal thing, growth hormone, testosterone, whatever. But at the end of the day, bodybuilding equals muscle under tension. So this is a concept which, some people give and take around it, but the main thing is bodybuilding is muscle under tension. So the best scenario is not go and do 8 reps, rest 1-2 minutes, and then go do it again. Bodybuilding is more of hitting the 8 to 12 rep range, with a 75 to 85% from the 1RM, your max rep, max weight, but then taking shorter breaks and then going again at the muscle, keeping the muscle under tension.
Right.
Let's say the break could be 30, 40 seconds up to 60, 75 seconds max.
Right.
Depending on the move and the muscle groups engaged. And then we tend to focus on isolation of the muscle. The more you isolate the muscle, the more it's bodybuilding. And then there are types of training we can also focus on, which are supersets, drop sets. For example, let's say you're doing chest. If you do a chest press and then you go do a dumbbell chest fly,
Right.
those are 2 pectoral muscles, chest muscles, back to back with no breaks. You finish 8 reps with the chest press, then you go 8 reps with the flies.
Right.
Then you take 30 seconds, or let's say 45 seconds, then you go again. That's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
One more example is the drop set. Let's say you go on the bicep curls with 2 dumbbells, you go 10 reps, and then you drop the weight a little bit, and then you go straight on 8 reps with no breaks at all. Same exercise, same
Right.
muscle group,
No rest in between.
no rest, and then you go take your 30, 45 second break to go again for another drop set.
Right.
That's exactly what bodybuilding is all about.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And how many number of sets? And every set should be how many reps and how many sets and how many days?
Yeah,
in
so-
general.
Yeah, so we should talk general because, we're used to 4 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10. Like, there are no taboos in this. We can widen up the scope and the thought process. You can always go from 8 to 12. You can play around those numbers. But those are the most specific to bodybuilding,
Right.
How many numbers of days and sets and stuff like that, it really depends on how advanced or beginner you are as a bodybuilder. And it really depends also on how much recovery you get after your workouts, your quality of life, your behavioral modification in your real life. If you have a bodybuilding workout and then you don't have the chance to get a good decent sleep and recovery, how can you go work out the second day? So
Right.
again,
and
it depends.
Your age as well.
Age,
As your
definitely,
age, you need a little bit more
definitely,
attention
definitely.
to support that.
Definitely. So lots of factors kick in,
Yeah.
but professional bodybuilders go twice a day.
Right.
Amateurs go 3 to 5 times a week.
Right.
So again,
Right.
it's a wide.
It really depends on your level
Yeah.
of fitness.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So we talked about if you're thin and you want to lose that abdominal fat, that you just want to create a calorie deficit, spot reduction doesn't work. We talked about what kinds of exercise you want to be doing. In your experience at Miami Fitness Factory, what are the types of programs that you generally give out, and what is what does your typical client look like in terms of what they want out of your gym?
I'll explain this point for sure, but before that, there's a big thing I really hate in this industry when people want this fat reduction, right, in the belly area, and they tend to go for electrical therapy. That's a big thing back home in Lebanon. I don't know what's going on in Miami concerning this point, but electrical therapy is a big myth. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a fun tool.
Yeah.
I'm a physical therapist. I know what's electrical therapy. I used to use it as an intern.
Can you explain just
Electrical therapy is basically muscle stimulation through some certain technological devices which simulate the muscle in a way very well used post injuries. However, in real life, you really don't need it. You need the order to be given from the brain to activate this muscle to its maximum potential. Now, using the electrical therapy to add a little boost might be sometimes the case, but marketing electrical therapy to eliminate fat at the specific area versus real training, not doing that, that's you know, that's the, yeah.
100%. I don't think it's as big right now
Yeah.
in Miami. In Miami, a big thing would be liposuction.
Okay.
And those kinds of surgeries.
got those
and
stuff.
like, yeah, Brazilian butt lift, the lipo.
Right.
And cryo.
Therapy.
Yeah, so freezing fat
Yeah, we got
cells.
this too. Sadly, we got this.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, they cost so much money. There are some side effects, and at the end of the day, what caused the initial increase in the number of fat cells are your habits, your dietary habits and your exercise habits.
Right.
And those aren't that easy to reverse in just one day. You know, going to the surgery and then deciding that the next day you're going to change your habits. The habits are still there. The root cause is still there, and so it's going to come back, unfortunately.
Bring up this topic, something we try to preach at Miami Fitness Factory, that, okay guys, you're coming, you believe that we have the best workouts, whatever, then you believe that we're going to motivate you to reach your targets. We're grateful to hear this. And then you try to take care of your diet. That's also great. We try to motivate you to do this. But something we preach about that, guys, if you don't listen to this point, you will not reach your goals, which is what you mentioned, behavioral modifications. So if I'm on this grind mode, working out every day, trying to kill it, taking care of my diet as much as possible, and then my friends, you will like, let's go Monday and Thursday for a beer, whatever, and then stuff escalates with the behavioral modification towards the negative side, you know, and you never notice those stuff, you know, it goes like so fast. Most of us don't write down what we ate, what we drank, whatever, and then stuff go out of control.
Yeah.
And it's too chaotic to a degree that you will lose whatever you're building. So we try to preach it, especially with people who are trying to lose those extra pounds or kilograms. So that's it.
Do you recommend tracking calories on an app?
Yeah, I'll tell you this, and I'll answer the workout thing at my Fitness Factory. You know, there are lots of cool apps to help you, like MyFitnessPal, whatever. Those are very common.
Right.
I personally don't track my calories. I think it's a good thing if you have the patience to do that. If you have the will to do that, why not? But I also think I prefer to go to my dietitian, and she should. It's her job to take care of my thought process for this issue, you know. And if she asks me to do so, and yeah, why not? But me personally, taking care of all those details, I think it's too chaotic for me.
Right.
If a client is interested to do this, why not? It is definitely helpful.
Yeah.
And now it's too easy, you know, to track your calories compared to before.
Exactly. You can just download
MyFitnessPal is so easy. Yeah.
Tons of apps.
Exactly. Let me get back to training at my Fitness Factory. So, in both our branches in Lebanon, we try to make sure we go in a goal-oriented way to our clients. So we try to hit their goals first. So what's your goal? Is it fat loss? You're saying that's what you want, right?
Right.
To talk about. So if it's fat loss, we definitely, let me say, advocate or work towards circuit training, which is a high-intensity circuit-based training, very efficient in this 45 to 60-minute margin. We build it first on correctives, knowing this guy having, let's say, low back pain, tight calves, any sort of tightness in his body.
Right.
We target it first with correctives, which are really helpful.
Now, that's an important point
Yeah.
that I don't think a lot of people pay attention to. Muscular imbalances
Right.
and how you correct them.
Right, so let's say someone has tight calves and we're going in a workout that has squats.
Right.
Let's say one of the calves, as he goes down in a squat, is pushing him in an odd direction, or let's say his ankle, it's affecting his ankle mobility, so it gets you into odd squats. So we don't want this. We try to fix it through the correctives to get him ready for the workout. Because remember, our job first is not to improve you, but first of all, it's to keep you injury free. So if I can keep you injury free while improving your performance, then I did my job. I can go back home and sleep comfortably on my bed. So yeah, so we do the correctives first. It will be our warm-up, and then we head into the workout. The workout is built in a way it is never random. It's definitely built in a way going from complex to simple, like from harder exercises to easier ones. When I say harder, that doesn't mean harder on the metabolic system, on the breath, on the endurance. It's harder as a complexity of an exercise. Let's say a squat is definitely harder than let's say a crunch or a push-up.
Right.
Let's say a back-loaded squat.
A lot bigger muscles,
Definitely.
more energy and effort that needs to be spent there. Yeah.
Definitely, I agree. So we build it in this way. You go through, let's say, a circuit of 4+ exercises, and then you take a small break, and then go again.
Right.
We do this and do several circuits of these. After we finish our workout, we finish it with a decent flexibility, 10 to 15 minute stretching time with an elastic band. We love elastic bands to stretch.
Yeah.
Some people need extra support with our manual touch.
Yeah.
So that's it, basically.
Something that I
And
know.
now, excuse me for interrupting.
Yeah.
Definitely, we try to end always with my facial release, which is foam rolling.
Right.
I mean, just to keep this
Right.
whole package, you know,
Yeah.
do the whole thing.
Exactly, and foam rolling is going to dissolve those trigger knots,
Right.
those tender knots or trigger points, and that way the next time you work out, you will have full range of motion, and you will not do repetitive movements in a with using that posture,
I
which
agree.
will propagate injuries.
I agree.
Right. One thing that I know a lot of my students ask me, and a lot of people generally ask me, and I'm sure they probably ask you that as well, is what should I start with? Should I do cardio first, or should I start lifting weights?
So let me end this discussion once and for all.
Yeah.
So why weights?
Right.
Okay. I would say weights because, long story short, we have energy systems in our body, right?
Yeah.
We don't just start jumping with there is some physiological phenomenon happening in our body. We have some stuff called ATP, creatine phosphate, whatever. So if I want to make my squatting movement the best, if I want to make my jumping movement the best and the most fruitful, take the best results out of it, I should have this energy built in my system. So if I go and have a big run, which is aerobic cardio based, and lose all my energy and come exhausted to the squats and jumping mechanics, not only it won't be fruitful, I won't take the benefits out of it, I'll be risking my joints and body to a certain injury.
Right.
Because the mechanics won't be as proper and as fruitful as I want.
Right.
I won't have the exact focus I want, so they will be odd mechanics leading to an injury. So definitely. I start with the complex exercises first, as we said from a minute ago.
Right.
I go with the workout weights,
Right.
and then I leave the cardio and metabolic work till the end.
Yeah.
It makes the most sense, and then I can spend my time doing the...
100%.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I tell people, is that always start with weightlifting, especially if you're not, let's say, a marathon runner, right? So if you're just for general body composition goals, generally you want to start with the things that require the most energy, which is lifting weights, and then you don't need as much mind-body connection or as much
Exactly.
energy left
Exactly.
in you to do your cardio and get that calorie burn for the day. Perfect. So, all right. So we talked about exercise and diet. Let's talk a little bit about your journey onto finishing your master's here in Miami at the University of Miami, and then going back to Lebanon and founding Miami Fitness Factory, which is a gym. What have you learned in those last 3 years? Has it been?
Yeah, almost 2.5 years.
Yeah. So, what would you say you have learned during that journey of being a gym owner, and what would you say also would be the best business advice that you ever received or that you can give people?
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Let me see. You know, a major business advice. Let me start with what I learned from Miami and what I got back home, because I think Miami taught me lots of stuff. I think a big thing I learned from Miami is that everyone's on this grind mode over here, you know? People just are real machines. At least in the fitness industry, you tell me about the other industries, but in the fitness strength and conditioning industries, there is no night, no morning, they're all connected.
Right.
You know, people just keep working all day long in the gym, programming with the athletes, follow up, wherever. So I was really impressed in this approach, and coming back to Lebanon, I made sure that I had this 4:30 a.m. sessions with my clientele, and you know, it turned out to be that some people are interested to have those early sessions before their jobs, to be fresh in the morning, whatever. So, okay, that's good. But what did I learn out of this whole thing? That honestly, your day is more than an 8 to 4 day, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 8 to 5, you know, regular job. This 8-hour thing is cool enough, good enough, but it's not enough to succeed and to get the whole fruit of this day. This 3-4 extra hour in the morning where you're fully ready and fresh, you can do much more work than the whole day. So starting at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. every day, I believe it's a big secret recipe in your success journey. So if you can be a morning person, it's a crazy key to success. That's my opinion. I've tried it, it works. I'll keep doing it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, let me add an app that I've started using because I'm one of those people that struggle to always wake up early, even though I agree with you 100%. That's the number one thing. When I wake up early, I get so much more done during my day versus on the days where it's like at 8 that it makes such a big difference, only those 2 hours. And I think it might have something to do with our evolutionary past where we woke up once the light was out, you know, the sun was out, and we just naturally woke up and we went to sleep once the sun was down. And so it's kind of as if our bodies expect that from us, and if we don't do that, we're a little bit more, we're working to catch up throughout the day as opposed to being ahead.
Right.
So the app would be a sleep cycle, and what it does is that you give it a time. Let's say you want to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you set that, and it starts to wake you up between 6:30 to 7.
Okay.
And what it does is that throughout the night, it's actually measuring how deep your sleep is. It's amazing. And I've started using it, and it actually works. So I highly recommend that. Also, of course, you need like 7 to 9 hours of sleep.
Right.
Well, actually, before I go into that, my next question was going to be, what is your morning routine like? And I'm assuming waking up early.
Yeah. So my morning routine is I'm no longer waking up 4:30 a.m. Let me say for personal health issues. Now I'm doing 5:10 a.m. every single day. I can't get rid of the morning routine. It paid off big time in my business. I think it's a big edge on everyone doing the 4:30. I think no one's done this in Lebanon before. That consistent. We did it like 4 months in Lebanon.
Training, you mean clients and that?
Training myself and with my clients and my assistants. It was like a group of 5 people at least. It was amazing.
Right.
3 to 5 people at least. So now we're doing 5 a.m. We start 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. max. I think, yeah, that's it.
And do you feel like, what time do you go to sleep? I'm assuming like for you to wake up at 5, you have to go at
Yeah, so I would say that's a big question. That was my second point I want to point out, that my sleeping cycle isn't the best. Having a business going on, you know, that takes lots of your time and effort. I think I get in 5 to 6 hours of sleep daily, never more. I think that's something I need to look into more, work on more. So that's my next goal, but I think it's not easy having a business. And why do I sleep late, not early? I mean, you know, after a job, sometimes you want to go out, change, you know, your mood.
Have a social life.
Have a social life a little bit, or else it's only work. So yeah, especially in Lebanon.
Right.
Yeah, you need to go out.
Right. Yeah. It's like you have all your friends and your family.
It's like a social thing, yeah. Like everyone likes to go out daily, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well, wonderful. So yeah, wake up early. That's the key to success.
Yeah.
That's the best advice
if
you really want to be successful in your business and
right.
own your own thing. Well, thank you so much, Amir. This was very helpful, and hopefully we can do a little bit more of those, maybe when I visit or when you visit again. But is there anything else you would like to say?
No, all I'd like to say is thank you for this fun interview. I think
I have to take advantage.
Yeah.
Amir is in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I love Miami. Everyone knows this. My gym is called Miami Fitness Factory.
Right.
That means a lot, I think. I represent NTSF. NTSF is Miami based.
Right.
I feel Miami is my second hometown. People laugh when I say this, but they know it's the truth. I just feel home, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the weather. Maybe
I know exactly what you mean by that.
yeah,
by the
maybe
way,
it's maybe it's the friends over here. Maybe I don't know. But I think it was a nice interview. We talked about cool stuff, you know. I talked a little bit about myself, a little bit about my business, a little bit about questions asked by your fans, and hopefully we answered everyone. And again, thank you, and let's see how it goes. Hopefully everyone liked it.
Woohoo. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.